You can see at the bottom of the footwell passenger side the rust perforation right through to, you can see it from the inside. And this piece here is that you're looking at is getting ready to be removed. Spot welds here have been drilled out, and what's going to happen is this piece here on the floor is going to be trimmed to fit in place of this rusted out bottom section here. These spot welds, they're spot welds all the way along here. I'm going to drill these out until I reach good solid metal. And then what's going to happen is I will make a cut across and make the corresponding cut on this patch panel and reinstall the piece that's rusted away. But it's a little bit more involved than it appears. There's quite a bit of prep work going to be involved here before I can actually install this piece here on the floor and repair this. I'll have to remove the section, pull it out, and then I have to go in here. You can see the section of the fender has been removed, and that's to allow the installation or the replacement of this bottom section, exterior section, which is rusted, and also to deal with the wheel arch, which is it's kind of difficult to see, but there is some corrosion in here, things that are happening in here that are going to necessitate me to cut this off, trim this off, and replace it. I have a special patch panel from Martin Roby for that. But the rocker panels have been trimmed away to reveal, or as the British call them, the sills. The outer sill has been trimmed away, and the inner sill, which is this rusty section here, I'm going to have to trim this down, cut this section out, and this is going to be a bit of a longer job. I have to fabricate my own replacement patch for that. As well, this jacking point here, this rectangular tubular section here, is mounted, it's spot welded to the floor underneath here on a box frame. And I have to pull that out because you can't really see it right there, but that section's really rusty. So to get that out, I have to go into the floor pan here. I'll remove this stuff and junk here that's sitting in the way. And I have to drill out spot welds. You can see one of them in here, these little dimples. I have to drill them out. That will allow me to remove the jacking point, this rusted tubular section right here. That you can see, and replace part of the floor pan. This section right here, I'll have to clean up on the bottom and establish where exactly the perforations are, where the worst corrosion is, and I'll cut the floor pan out, and I have a replacement floor pan that I have to stitch weld in. And I'll have to fabricate a section of the inner sill. This is actually the inner sill, this part right here. So I'm going to have to make a cut, get rid of these spot welds here, fashion a new piece, fashion the kickboard, fashion a piece of the floor pan. Then I can reinstall the jacking point, a new jacking point, and I think I have one here on this side. Nope, that's for the seat installation. Oh boy. Oh, I guess it's on the other side of the car. But this, here we go. This is what the jacking points look like. This is what I'm going to have to remove from the old one from the bottom of the floor pan, and I'll just flip it over, and this will be stitch welded on the perimeter, and this is stitch welded onto the frame, and these tabs are stitch welded on. So there's lots and lots of cutting and welding and grinding and that coming up, but things are progressing. I'll be, along the way, I'll be removing some more of the rocker panel sill, outer sill. I cut away the majority here the other day. I wanted to see the condition of the inner sill, this section right here. And actually, except for the ends, I'm quite pleased. The sill has surface rust. Yes, the ends are perforated, but that's actually incredibly good shape, and that's treatable, and there's enough good solid metal there that I'll be able to actually deal with this and get that done. But up here, you see the green tape where I use that as kind of a guide. The sill, the outer sill, curves down underneath here, comes up, and then it's folded and it's spot welded up along here through the door jamb. So what I have to do is drill all these little spot welds out. These dimples, you can see them right here. All that. I have to drill each one carefully, remove those, and make a cut here and that, and slowly work my way along and remove the rest of the outer sill, including the part for the back door. It's one long section in that. Then before I weld in, after I do all my prep work and inner repair work, and get all of that done, and then rust treated and painted and so on and so forth, and that includes all this back here, I have to repair. There's the rear passenger side jacking point. That's probably going to have to come out. But I'm going to have to remove the rear wheel for that. And one step at a time. I'll get to it in good time. But you can see. So most of the damage that is requiring cutting and grinding and welding and fashioning new parts is on either end of the sill, of the inner sill on this side. And so I'll get that done. And when I get that done, when I get my prep work finished and the pieces cut out, there'll be another video coming that'll allow me to illustrate what I have to do. There's spot welds all along the bottom part here. This section, the inner sill, is spot welded. Excuse me, the outer sill is attached to the frame via spot welds all the way along the length of the bottom of the car, except where there's water drain holes that were actually fashioned into the inner sill. And that's why I think, for the most part, this is in such good shape, given its age. Simply put, the corrosive road salt and God knows what else was able to escape to a certain extent. So the worst thing of all is when you have debris, corrosive debris that's held in captive next to the metal, then you're going to have a problem. So that's going to get done. I'll show you the replacement outer sills. I have one for each side of the car. And this one is on the driver's side, sitting here. And the way it was stored, it had moisture on it, and there's some surface rust. This is brand new material. This is brand new parts. And but these are I'm gonna have to treat this. The damage is only superficial, and I'll paint it, get everything ready. But I have to also remember during the painting process that I have to leave the metal clean where the welding will take place. That's not a big deal. That's nothing really. So this is the new sill that I'm going to be installing on the passenger side. Hasn't been conditioned yet or set up yet to be installed, but that's a ways off yet. in that. So yeah, things are coming. Rome isn't built in a day. Before I actually weld the sills in though, I'm contemplating actually reinstalling the doors. When I got this car, the doors were already pulled out, and that's actually a tactical error. In the interest of frame alignment and stress, it would have been better to have left the doors in. During the jacking process, the frame, these cars aren't flimsy, but given the situation, they will bend. Things will flex, and I have to be careful to ensure that when I weld in all of the new pieces that have to go in, that the situation doesn't occur where I weld in a bend. If my door gaps aren't correct, where the edges of the doors reside inside the frame itself, the body, if things aren't even in that, and I go ahead and I weld in the outer sill, then that possibly could lead to a situation where I can't get the doors to close or open properly or lock correctly, and I can't have that. That's an absolute no-no. So there's some complicated figuring out to do yet in that. So this situation here with the front fender, the right front or the wing, to use the correct British term, I'll be marking. I'll be laying the patch panel that I have over here. Well, actually, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to make a line in here that's inside the outer. This is the outer edge of the patch panel, which actually goes all the way around the wheel arch. But I'm going to cut it short because this section of the wheel arch up here is actually in exceptionally good shape. And I'm not going to cut out good metal unless I absolutely have to, but I need good metal to mount, to stitch weld the patch panel. So there'll be another line in here because I'm not going to pull this good metal out of here. This is reasonably good metal. So I'll be measuring all this up and that to make sure that I can butt weld the seams so that they're flush with each other. I don't want to do lap welds here. And then I'll have to be careful with that. I don't want to warp the panels in that. So yeah, there's lots and lots of rust prep, rust removal, and so on that needs to be done. But as far as this situation inside the wheel well here, things are coming along, and this was a long, grueling process. I'm waiting for a needle scaler to complete this cleanup job in here. It's going to be a little bit tedious, no doubt. I want it cleaner yet before I prep the metal and spray on anti-rust converter and anti-rust paint that I have. Got some pretty high-end material here to go in and kind of not eliminate the rust, but at least hold it under control in that. So yeah, this is kind of exciting because now there's actual new metal going in, and I'm able to start doing some serious repair work on the frames. And I think that aside from any other issues that remain hidden that I suddenly stumble upon, I think the progress from here forward, as far as the bodywork is concerned, is going to move along fairly rapidly. I need to, I mentioned this in the last video, I think. I need to address the surface rust, which isn't showing up that well on the picture you're looking at here on the boot lid. Also on the bonnet, which is behind the cardboard over there. There's the replacement wheel arch for the passenger side, that black crescent shape here. This is the piece that is going to be used to repair the rust this section back down here and down will be used to replace the rusted out panels in that. And there's the other one for the driver's side sitting in the shelf there and that. So it's going to be really cool to get new metal going back onto the frame and to actually see that there is light at the end of the tunnel, as it were, in that. So I'm going to have to dig out the fittings for the doors to make sure to remount them and put them back into position. And I don't even remember where that material or where those screws are. They're special screws. But yeah, that's going to happen, and it'll be interesting to see how this looks after I'm complete and when I get my next video out to you folks. Anyway, I think that's enough for now. Don't want to get too long-winded. So take care, and until next time.